Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to the You and I Versal Temple for the Sun, Planet, Moon, and Stars. I'll be your host, Lord Masiah. And today we're going into several study sciences of the number 7, subtitle, A Picture's Worth a Million Words. Now, what I've done is over, actually like a whole summer, and, I was just like burning mad weed and just writing this book, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is the product of stimulation of the mind. Just to let you know, I don't be bullshitting whenever. But anyway, these are some sciences that I drew up, and I'm gonna go into these right here. And basically, a picture's worth a million words, meaning I take a picture and I break down what I see in the picture. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna go through these pictures and we're gonna go into this. The first one today is the Black creation story, or the melanated creation story. And we're going to go into this because this story right here is the same story of what's spoken about in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The story of Genesis, when they talk about, the firmaments and, the waters above the firmament being separated from the water below the firmaments. And this is coming from the science of Shu, Newt, Shu, and Jeb. Newt is the queen you see going over with the stars in her body. Shu is the god of the element of air, and Jeb is here laying on the floor representing the element of earth. So now we're gonna go through this and we're gonna break it down because this story is where to get the story in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The so-called creation story in the Bible. This is where they get it from. So we're gonna go into this. We're gonna break this down. So now I could have went from Genesis 1. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go up to verse 7, for the sake of this right here, you know what I mean? And I could go back and break down the other stuff as well, but, for the sake of this right here, right? So it says that thus, verse 7, right? Genesis 1, verse 7, thus God made the firmaments and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. Now, the translation of that, or rather I say that was translated from the fact that Shu separated the heavens from the earth. As you can see here in the diagram, you know what I'm saying? You see here in the diagram, you see Shu separating the heavens from the earth. Now, Newt, she represents the heavens. You see the stars in her body. These are the canopy. Even in the scriptures, the Quran and the Bible says that the stars shall be a canopy for the earth, as the stars are above the earth. They represent the solar, the celestial bodies. You know what I mean? And then you have Shu. Shu is representing the element of air. You know what I mean? The god Shu, god of air or atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Atmosphere. You know what I mean? The atmosphere, mosphere. At is Allah's truth. You know what I mean? Allah's truth, mosphere. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and dividing the heavens from the earth. So Shu, the element of air. See, the Kemetic gods or the African gods, they personified themselves through natural elements. And these elements, and sometimes through animals, which was called anthropomorphizing, which they would use, or what you call personification, using human characteristics to give definition to inanimate objects. So, for example, the elements are inanimate. Well, not actually inanimate, but they will be considered the inanimate object, and then the god would give relevance to that. So therefore, he would be the god of air. She would be the queen of the stars. Jeb will be the god representing the earth. You know what I'm saying? So she's Shu down here. You know what I mean? And you can see the pyramid in his leg too. You see that, right? I drew that out. So, and you see Shu also standing arm, leg, arm, head. You know what I'm saying? He's Allah, the God. And you also see the God of, it says the God Jeb equaling the earth, the God of the earth. So husband and brother of Newt. And he was also the husband and the brother of Newt. So you can see how, you know what I mean, you have the earth and the stars, you know what I'm saying, having a connection. And then between that, you have the atmosphere, which is represented by the element of air through Shu. So we're going to go into this, right? So we're going to go deeper into this. So now you have, come on, let's get it. All right, so, and God, all right, so now, Verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven. That was deep too, right? It said God called the firmament heaven. You know what I mean? And heaven equals Newt. And under, is the seas, and above is the clouds. You know what I mean? And you know that as the sun and the stars having the magnetic effect on the water of the earth, it draws the water up into the earth's rotation, and fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. And this is creating the air or the atmosphere. So from the earth, from the earth, from the earth, which is represented by Jeb, the element of earth, the sun or the stars are shining on earth, evaporating the water, creating the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere. So you have Shu representing the element of air. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is relevant. So now verse wow, did I skip verse 9? Wow. And God called the dry land earth. So it said, and he called the firmaments heaven, and he called the dry land earth. So that earth represents Jeb, and the heavens represent Newt. So you see right here, Newt and Geb, the heaven and the earth. and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. The gathering together of the waters he called seas. So when the waters gathered together, they were called seas. You know what I'm saying? And now we know, like in the Bill degree, the 1 to 40, the sun and moon have attraction powers on the planet. So as the sun draws this water up, into the earth's, into the earth's sphere, and a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. So we know that is what we call air. People like, oh, you can't see air, but it exists. Yes, you can see air. It just depends on the form that it's in. Sometimes you see what's called on a cold winter day, you go outside and breathe into the air, and you see what's called fog come from your mouth, right? That's air in the form of fog, because it was mixed with the heat, and now it made the elements of the air transform into a form where you can actually visibly see it. Also called mist or vapors. You know what I'm saying? In fact, like I say, when the water is being evaporated from the earth, these things are going in vapors that you may not be able to necessarily see, but sometimes you can see them. Or either sometimes, how you can look, you can get down low on the street and you see the heat waves raising from the street. You know what I'm saying? That's how hot it be. So you see that how the heat is radiating, and you can see the heat waves literally coming off the ground. So yes, you can see air in different forms. You know what I'm saying? In fact, water, we know, or air is simply evaporated water. So air is water. You know what I mean? So water is seen air. You see air in the form of water, like facts, ice, all that. So anyway, so it's just that's why we know energy can never be created nor destroyed. It can only be recycled or repropagated into a greater or lesser form than the original will. So basically, it only means that energy only changes its state of existence. However, it always exists, and there's no beginning or ending to energy. That's why I tell people we are divine, because you are energy, are you not? And if you are energy, is a very simple fact that energy can never be created nor destroyed. So if you are energy and you can never be created or destroyed, that means you never were created and you can never be destroyed. So therefore, you have to be the only creator and the only destroyer. You are God. God borns build or destroy. You create or destroy. So then God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herbs, and yield seeds and fruit, and trees, and yield the fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself, on the earth. And it was so. So cultivator, black woman is earth. So that's basically, showing and proving how, the black woman is earth, because we know that she bears witness. But now in this diagram, they're using Jeb. They're using Jeb as an element of earth. Jeb is a male, but they're using him to represent the element of earth. Now, is that to say that Jeb had babies or he had seeds in him or whatever? No, it's a symbolic representation. You know what I mean? So atom, atom. Atom is a seed. Atom. Allah, the A, Allah, T, the O, original man. Allah, the original man. That's the original atom, the seed in the black womb of the mother nature that began the father star or sun. You know what I mean? Black man or seed of the cream of the planet Earth and was born from the black womb of the mother Earth. Black baby seed inside the womb. Inside, just as the black woman has a star in the earth. There's that so-called lava or burning source of energy inside the earth. That is simply a star inside the earth, which shows and proves that the sun gave birth to the earth and planted its seed inside her, symbolic of a man planting his seed inside a woman, and then she germinates that baby. She cultivates that baby. She borns the child. You know what I mean? So as they say, and I'm not being derogatory, but they would say that Newt would swallow Ra at night and give birth to him in the morning through the universal womb. So, I added in the actual depiction of this, they don't have a picture of the sun. They don't have the sun. I added this part in there myself, Ra, the sun god. And I put it there to represent the fact that, as it says, Newt would swallow Ra, meaning Ra represented the sun. So Newt representing the stars, meaning that she would swallow. And like I said, I'm not being derogatory, but a woman sometimes swallows the newt or the nut of a man, and it travels through her. And I would assume it comes out through her vaginal, or when she, goes, whatever. And it's actually nutrients as well, too. You know what I'm saying? The females will tell you that. But anyway, I'm just saying. So she would swallow Newt. She would swallow Ra at night and give birth to him in the morning through the universal black womb. So it's similar to how the Newt representing the night sky. You know what I mean? The night sky engulfs the sun. It swallows up the sun, symbolically speaking. How, we say the sun goes down or whatever, or it rotates to the point where we no longer can visually see it. It is getting engulfed by the darkness. So Newt would swallow Ra at night and give birth to him through the womb in the morning. So the night sky swallows the sun. And then as the sun rises in the morning and gives birth and the light comes back out and it comes out of the darkness, because as in the morning you see it getting dark, and so it goes from being darker to lighter and lighter and lighter. Then all of a sudden the sun is fully out, coming out of the womb of darkness, just like the baby comes out of the womb. It's as above, so below, man. We are a universal people. You know what I'm saying? That's simply what it is. You know what I mean? So, all right, we only 13 minutes in. Okay, that's what's up. All right, so Shu right? Shu holding the breast, and not even derogatory either, but you see the two hands, right? One hand is by the vagina, and the other hand, saying you could say is by the breast, not perfectly aligned, but you would say holding. So Shu holding the breast and the vagina of Newt is representing fertility. You know what I mean? Because the earth, the water of the earth is evaporated through the atmosphere and rises and comes up to form clouds. You know what I mean? And those clouds not getting out of the earth's sphere due to its high speed of rotation around the sun, according to the degree. And then it distills back on our planet in the form of drops of water, drops of ice, depending on how heavy the current was and the midst of air it was in. So, as it says, their currents very swift and changeable. Some warm, some cold, some very swift and changeable. I ain't gonna go into that whole degree. Y'all know the degree. But so all right, boom, 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 boom. So, and then, all right, now, verse 14. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmaments of the heavens to give light to the earth." And it was so. So now, what do you see? You see right here, you see the stars in her body. You know what I'm saying? You see the stars in her body, in Newt's body, which is representing the canopy above the earth, which is represented by Jeb. And it says that let the lights in the heavens give light on earth. So you see the stars, like at nighttime, you see the stars shining over the earth, right? So, that's exactly what it is. Like, you know what I mean? You see it right here. Our ancestors put this in existence way before the Bible. This is why I'm taking it back to the Kemetic science so we could see where it came from, back to the quote unquote African, or if you want to call Asiatic science, to let you know where it came from. You know what I mean? So all right, so boom, 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 boom. Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament, and give light to the earth, and it was so. 16, then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So obviously you see the sun, moon, and star right there. The greater light which rules the day is the sun. The lesser light that rules the night is the moon. And the stars also, sun, moon, and star. God set them in. Now, and when I'm saying God, they're speaking of the quote unquote God of the Bible, which was mysterious. This is why I'm taking it back for you to see where it came from. Our ancestors, wrote this down and made these stories and manifest this reality years before this came into existence. So, the God of the Bible set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light. So that's why I had put the symbol of Ra up there to let you know, you know what I mean? See, me, I placed it in there to let you know, you know what I'm saying? That it's Ra, the sun, you know what I mean? So in God and of the heavens to give light to the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and divided the light from the darkness. So therefore, and the light in that determined night and day, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a contradiction in the story, how they gave it in the Bible, right? Because they said in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then they say on the fourth day, all of a sudden he made the sun. Now we know that, according to what we've been taught, that the earth is supposed to be revolving around the sun, or the sun is the energy that holds all the planets, in their, fixed position and so forth, right? So if that's the case, and how could the earth be here? How could the heavens and the earth be here? You know what I'm saying? Without the sun being here. And how could they say the first, and that was on the first day, and then the second day, the third day, and then they said, and then it said on the fourth day, he made the sun, and God said, let there be light, or whatever, and then there was the sun or whatever. But hold on. What about before that? And also too, as you can just see how it said in verse 7, how he made the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light. So if he already did that, then he talked about another son being born on the fourth day when he said, let there be light. Hold on, I thought you already did that. So you see, there was two sons being made. See, and this is why I say, because like I say, they got it from our story. And the reason why there was two sons made, because they didn't mention Ra. You know what I mean? Like I put the picture, I put the circle of Ra up there. I put the little symbol up there to represent Ra, because they neglected Ra. They left Ra out of the story. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying that. You know what I mean? And that's why they messed up the story. See what I'm saying? But anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So now a sign signifies the meaning of something. Oh, and also too, when it said before, it said it shall be for day signs, for seasons, and for days, and seasons, sun, the sun and the sea. As the sun shines on the sea and evaporates the water, causing atmosphere, and then as the earth is rotating and so forth, going through different seasons, you know what I mean? That's where you get seasons. You know what I mean? And then for days and for years and all of that, you know what I mean? That's how you get calendars, all from the sun. And I'm going to go into the horoscope and the horizon and the hour and how that derives from Horus and all of that, and, break that down in another slide. You know what I mean? But right now, we're going to just, we're breaking this down right here. So season is the sea and the sun, which works together to create an atmosphere, which is Shu. You know what I mean? So now I don't know if in the story if Shu and Jeb if Newt and Jeb are the mother and father of Shu. I'm not sure about that in the story, but that would kind of make sense how the sun or the stars have that influence on the earth to create atmosphere. You know what I mean? So those two come together to create the child. You know what I mean? That would kind of make sense. So anyway, sea and sun, sons of the sea, right? Because we are, and also we are sons of the sea. Because as they say, man came from the sea and then he evolved onto the land, and then from the land he evolved up into to man, and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? That's a certain particular, I would say, theory, because nobody was exactly there in the exact beginning of time, so we all have different theories or understandings of how that may have came about. You know what I mean? So I'll say that. You know what I mean? Seas. All right. So boom, boom, boom. Like your seamen. You know what I mean? You are a season or a son of the sea, like your seamen. Seaman, a man of the sea, shows you are a man of the sea. You know what I mean? You have semen. You know what I mean? And that semen goes into the mother's womb, and then the baby starts to expand in the uterus, and then they say a lot of water accumulates in the womb, which is the water. And then when the water breaks, the baby comes forth, just like the flood. You know what I'm saying? As they say, and like the God born, the God King Born was breaking down. He was breaking down the knowledge tree. How he was saying like, oh, when the baby, you hear the baby kicking, and that's like, nah, the baby wasn't just kicking. He was walking on water. And then he broke down how saying when the water broke and you see the blood come forth, that was the flood. That was a parting of the Red Sea. So not only did we walk on water, we also parted the Red Sea. You know what I mean? Because we are those miracle babies that came forth through the Immaculate Conception, not through some spiritual spooky stuff, but through the clean womb of our mothers and of our mothers who was planted in a seed from the Divine Father, and they were both radiating at that divine frequency to bring forth that baby. That's why they say the mother has to be at relaxed and a calm pace and at ease and peace and everything while she's going through her labor and her pregnancy, because she has to keep at that good energy so everything goes smooth. So yeah, so now, and then divider, Shu represents the divider, as you see between the earth and the stars, to create that atmosphere. You know what I mean? Morning, Newt gives birth to the sun god Ra, and at night she swallows. You know what I mean? The sun god Ra. So this is broken down right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, due to the influence of a lot of my teachers, and I will give props to Ashraf Kwesi, the master teacher, Ashraf Kwesi. A lot of people will be talking about Dr. Ben and stuff like that. No, and a lot of respect to Dr. Ben. But people got to recognize who Ashraf Kwesi is. Ashraf Kwesi was one of the students of Dr. Ben, and then Sarasut Seti was one of the students of Ashraf Kwesi. Technically, see how sometimes people be kind of skipping over Ashraf Kwesi and they be giving credit to Dr. Ben. But what about Ashraf Kwesi? Ashraf Kwesi, New Kemet Productions. You can check out Ashraf Kwesi's work. Ashraf Kwesi is the true master teacher. And the reason why I say that is because of his ability to how he broke it down. Now, listen, no disrespect to Dr. Ben, but Dr. Ben, his speech was kind of foreign to how we would usually hear things broken down. But when you hear Ashraf Kwesi break it down, man, listen. That's kind of like listening to Elijah Muhammad and how Elijah Muhammad spoke, and then listening to like Malcolm X and how Malcolm X spoke. You know what I'm saying? They both had power, but who was more articulate and who was more fiery and who gave it up with that spirit. So that's what I'm talking about. Ashraf Kwesi is the man, and he broke down all these sciences. You type in Ashraf Kwesi on YouTube and look at his sciences, New Kemet Productions. So I have to give credit to my forefathers and where a lot of my education came from. You know what I'm saying? I didn't studied all his DVDs, watch all his breakdowns, and he actually goes to Kemet and actually breaks down these things, actually reads the Medu Netta right off the wall and breaks it down. Because it's a psychoanalytical reading. You know what I'm saying? It's not something like, ABC. You know, they be having these ABC graphs of the Medu Netta. I don't really know about that because it wasn't exactly a Greco-Roman alphabet. It wasn't exactly 26 letters and so forth. It's like, I think it's like thousands of pictograms in the Meduneta language. So, or icons or whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta have the knowledge of what you're looking at to really break that down. And when you watch it, he goes in and he breaks it down. So without further ado, I'll go to you and another teacher, GM George, Stolen Legacy, George GM James. You know what I'm saying? Broke down the science of stolen legacy, showing you, and this is similar to what I'm doing here as well. And shout out to Sarah Sutanseti as well, because Sarah Sutanseti is one I seen do a breakdown on this diagram as well, which inspired me to go and do my breakdown on it as well. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving, and Sarah Sutanseti got that fire as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, just know that chain right there. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Ben, Ashraquazi, you know, Sarah Sutanseti, and then young Pharaoh as well, because you know he was under the tutelage of Sarah Sutanseti for a minute. They was building for a while. So you know all of that history, and look at the fire. But so and you got to give praise to, and you got to give the most high praise to Dr. Ben, because look at what he created. Those fiery teachers. He gave birth to Ashraquazi, he gave birth to Sarah Sutanseti, he gave birth to, in a sense, you could say gave birth to young Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? Young Pharaoh got many different other teeth, but you're saying as far as that line of study and as far as that history and as far as in the Kemetic science, you know what I'm saying? You could say that there was definitely a chain of transcending knowledge that was passed down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And now you have Lord Masiah breaking this down for y'all as well. You know what I mean? So let me not be too long-winded and let me get through this, because now the next slide I'm going to show y'all is something very powerful. Like George G.M. James showed him Stolen Legacy, how they always been stealing our legacy and you know, stealing everything we do. So here we go. This is another example of what they do all the time. Pyramid, I call this one Paramount or Pyramid. Paramount or Pyramid. Because look at this right here. Paramount Pictures stealing our Kemetic science. Look at this right here. You see these stars right here? And Disney uses the same thing too. When you see Disney cartoons come on, they show them stars going over like that. You know what I'm saying? Making that bridge. They're biting this from as we see Newt right here. You know what I'm saying? Newt. You see her with the stars above. And then in the middle, you see the atmosphere, like you're going to see clouds, because atmosphere is great. And then you see Jeb right here, right? With the laying on the line right there, right? So now look at this right here. Boom, boom, boom. Look at the stars above here. That's Newt right there. These clouds and all of this right here, and this pyramid right here, as you see, this is representing Shu right here, the atmosphere, the element of air. And then you see the line down here, the base right here, the line right down here, that's representing Jeb, or, you know, the earth itself can represent Jeb, and that line also represents the celestial Nile that they travel through. Because this science right here, they say that even Horus on the boat too, and they say that they travel through the celestial Nile. You know what I mean? So this the science of the Nile Valley teachings. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see Newt, Shu, and Jeb. So what do you see right here? Newt, Shu, and Jeb copied. You know what I mean? So let me read this for y'all as I broke this down. I said Paramount is Paramount, so similar to pyramid. You know what I mean? Would you rather have a pair of mounts or a pyramid? You know what I mean? And as you can see, right, they got two. It looks like you know, you see the mountains right here, the two little mountains and stuff, right? Like a pair of mountains. But so now you have Paramount Pictures are imitating pyramid scriptures or hieroglyphics. You know what I mean? The mount is the pyramid. As you can see, it looks just like a pyramid, which are aligned with the stars. Also, you see stars above the mounts that are pyramid shaped. And the mount is pyramid shaped. So just like we know, you have the 3 stars of the Orion's belt, which line up with the 3 stars of Giza. The tip of the pyramids astrologically lined exactly up with those stars. They mathematically made that precise like that. That was how deep the God sciences was. It was dealing with high mathematics. So now you see, look at them. They copying the same thing. Look, man, like it's right in our face. You know what I'm saying? They're copying our science. Look at the tip of the paramount, the tip of the mountain or the pyramid lining up with the stars. See? Like, come on, it's just right in our face. Paramount Pictures. Every time you watch a movie, Paramount Pictures, and it comes on, they're showing you your own history. And I got so many other ones I'm gonna show y'all too. So let me finish breaking this down. So also the creation story of Newt, Shu, and Jeb. Newt is the stars arching over the mountain. Shu is the mountain separating the heavens from the earth. The white bar you see represents Jeb, and really it should be a black bar because that's representing the celestial, the boat they travel through the celestial Nile. You know, representing Jeb as the earth, and the white bar could, like I said, right, could be the black boat that floats across the Nile. But the bar is flat because that's what they thought the earth. That's what they thought of the earth. Ooh, that it was flat. Damn, I was on that science back then. Ooh, that flat earth science. That's another science, y'all. I'm saying that I'm going to start going into that. I'm doing a lot of more study on that too before I break that down because, you know, oh my God, now say for God and all of that. But yet y'all can't disprove it. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to save that for another time. Oh, man, Lord Masiah sound like Lord Jamal. He going bonkers now. He going outside. No, it's just analyzing things in another perspective. Some people just look at things from one way because that's what you've been told, and you may be indoctrinated. So you might need to go into your bag and check what you got inside your bag because everything in your bag may not be right in that. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So the God of literature or wisdom, the Academy Award Oscar or Oscar Awards or Shar Awards, the trophy is modeled after the god Ptah. And I'm gonna go into that in another slide too. You see the Oscar Awards where you see the god the standing like that. That's the imitation of the god Ptah, holding the staff, the hands the same way, everything. You know what I mean? So so as you can see, look at this, another stolen science, y'all. Another stolen science. This is what they always do. You know what I'm saying? They take and they, remix it. You know what I mean? So you see the paramount and the pyramid, paramount or pyramid. You know what I mean? And as you can see. So now, y'all, this is slide 1 right here, y'all. I just wanted to open up your eyes or let y'all see a little something of what I'm talking about. And then we're going to go into a whole lot more slides. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole lot more slides. Let me show y'all. You know what I mean? Show y'all a whole lot more. So this was the first one, y'all. This is the beginning. And we're going to go into a whole lot more, y'all, like I say. So on that note, y'all, this has been another episode with your Lord of Hosts, Lord Masiah, here at the Universal Temple for the Sun, Planet, Moon, and Stars. And we're going to keep this moving, y'all. We're going to keep it going. I'm going to see y'all on the next slide. Peace.